Hi everyone, and welcome to a brand new semester. If you have chosen to take this class in 7 weeks, I commend you. You are extremely brave. There is a lot of work that is done in a 7 week term. We pretty much cram 16 weeks into 7 weeks. And so while there's a lot of work, I plan to provide you with as much support as you need in order to get through successfully. So one of the ways that I have chosen to support you this semester is new. It's different than something I've done in past semesters. And that is that I've opened up all of the work for the entire 7 weeks. I'm hoping that that helps students who prefer to work ahead, but doesn't overwhelm the students who like to take things week by week. So what I'll do is at the beginning of each week, I'll create one of these navigation videos. And so you will have not only a visual example of what's expected of you, but also a verbal example of what's expected of you. So let's go over week 1 and 2 together. Now, week 1 looks a little bit light, and it is, but my hope is that once you dive into week 1, you'll move right into week 2 without actually waiting until the 16th. So after you have completed the Start Here module, which is this first module, and you've taken your student information survey and your course introduction quiz, which are both due on Wednesday, May 11th, you will move right into week 1 work. And so at the beginning of each week, you'll also see what's called a week objectives page. And this is where the navigation videos will be housed. So I'm going to open week 1 objectives so that you can see what it looks like. So if I scroll down, you're going to see the navigation video. You're going to see a little bit of an explanation of the topics that we're going to be covering. And then you're going to see a graph of the assignments and their due dates and the point value. So as you can see here, you have your syllabus quiz, the student information survey, and then the Flipgrid, which is your discussion for this week. So let's dive right into the actual assignments. So as you can see, I've actually done a tutorial video for you as far as how to use Flipgrid. I know some of the technology is new to some people, so I want to make sure that you have an explanation of how to use it. So there's a tutorial video here for you within the assignment. And then what you'll do for this discussion is you're going to actually read the article first, and then you're going to post a video responding to the article and some of the prompts I have below. So what I'd like you to do is tell me about your experience with online classes. For many of you, you've had a lot of experience. Tell me about your experience with college courses in general, and then something about yourself that you want to share with the class. And then your biggest concern for taking an online course. So after you've posted your initial message, you're going to respond to 2 classmates about their concern and give them some advice about what they're concerned about. So like all of the discussions for the course, your initial post will be due on Friday, and your responses to your peers will be due on Sunday. So that is your discussion for this week. Now, you'll see at end of the week note. I'm going to go back out to modules. You can always just click next to go on to the next assignment, but I'm going to go back out to modules to show you a different way of getting there. So if you scroll down, I'm going to now go into week 2 assignments. So each week is broken up into 3 chapters, so 3 content chapters that you're going to be doing assignments on. So I'm going to open up week 2 module. And you'll see the same as the week 1 objectives, the same format. So you're going to see an explanation of what we're going to be covering. You're going to see the outcomes that we're going to be touching on. And then what you'll also see is just a summary of what you'll have to do that week. So for week 2, you're going to read chapters 1, 2, and 3 in your textbook. And remember, you can find your free PDF version of your textbook within the course resources module. You're going to have 2 play posits that you're completing, complete 3 chapter quizzes, complete 2 discussions, and complete your first exam. I also have your first written assignment available for you to view and get started on if you so choose, but it's not due until the following week. So what I'd like you to do is look into the course objectives and due dates table. So if you look on here, you'll see again all of the assignments, the objectives that they touch on, the point value for each of them, and then their due dates. So let's go into the actual assignments. So for the first week, instead of a play posit, which I'm going to explain in a second, you're going to see some informational videos along with the PowerPoint for the first chapter. And so this will be really helpful to view before you actually go on to take your reading quiz. In your reading quiz, for all of the chapters for the entire semester, the reading quizzes function the same way. So they're open for the entire time until the due date. So you can open and close them as many times as you need to until the due date, and then they are closed for good. So my recommendation is to actually watch any of the play posit videos, read the chapters, and then take your quizzes. What this does is it prepares you for the quiz, and you can actually take the quiz as you're reading. So if you need to confirm an answer to one of the questions, you can look through your textbook as you're working on this. The one thing you don't want to do is to hit submit before you have completed your quiz. Submitting the quiz would mean that I wouldn't be able to reopen it for you. So please make sure you don't hit submit until you are absolutely ready to turn it in. But you can save it and close it as many times as you need to. So you can work on it for 5 minutes and then come back to it the next day and work on it for 20 minutes and then go back the next day, and so on and so forth. So that's your quiz. Now, your discussions this week, remember you have 2 per week. So your first discussion is called prenatal learning. And what you'll do is you'll watch a TED Talk with a really great speaker who talks about all the things that we learn before we're born. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to go out and do some research on your own and find an article describing any study that actually looked at what fetuses are capable of before birth. So the learning that occurs within the last trimester. And then I'd like you to summarize the article in a post. So remember, it does have to be in your own words, so you do have to include the citation and make sure that you are not using anyone else's words as your own. Okay, so your initial posts will need to be 350 to 500 words, and then what you're going to do is respond to 2 peers within the class. And what you're going to do in your response is you're going to comment on the articles that they actually found. Maybe you found the same articles, maybe you found articles talking about the same topic. So you're going to include more than just good job. It should be a meaningful post. So again, it follows the same model of the initial post is due on Friday the 20th, and responses to peers are due on the 22nd. You can start on this as soon as you would like. You do not have to wait until week 2 to start these. Now, throughout the course, I also have what I call support videos. There are no points attached, but they are included in your to-do list so that you actually view them and they're there to support you. So there aren't assignments, but they're only there for your support. You can watch them or you don't have to, but watching them is only going to help. Okay. Now let me go into your play posits. So play posits, it's a really neat piece of technology where I've recorded lectures for you and then embedded questions within the lecture. So I've had really great feedback from students about these play posits. They have said that it has really helped them to pay attention because the lectures are a little bit longer. I also want you to note that I did record these at the beginning of the pandemic, so some of the information is based on that time period, but the information from the book is the same information from the book that you're going to be reading, so still considered accurate. So what you'll do is, let me go ahead and it'll just have a play button and you're just going to press play and you're going to be able to start the lecture. You get points for completing it. So you can miss every single question, but if you go back until you get those answers right, as long as you complete it, you will get full points. So you can take this as many times as you need to in order to get all of the questions correct. And then you have your Chapter 2 reading quiz. So you'll see that the assignments follow the same format. And it follows the same pattern throughout the semester. So I just wanted to give you some explanation as to what's expected of you in the first couple of weeks. Right here, you're going to find your first exam. Your exam covers weeks 1, 2, and 3, or chapters 1, 2, and 3 rather, of content. And within your exam, this is the only assignment that's really timed. So you'll have 60 minutes to complete 25 questions. This is also an assignment that closes on the due date, so it's important that you take it by the time it's due. If you do have any DSPS accommodations, please let me know so that I can accommodate your needs. Okay, so that is your first couple weeks. I hope this was helpful. Please reach out if you have any further questions.